all hazards without an hour's delay. But a little reflection assured him that if such a step were necessary, Newman would have spoken out and told him so at once. At all events, I should prepare them here for the possibility of my going away suddenly, said Nicholas. I should lose no time in doing that. As the thought occurred to him, he took up his hat and hurried to the green room. Well, Mr. Johnson, said Mrs. Crummles, who was seated there in full regal costume, with the phenomenon as the maiden in her maternal arms. Next week for Ryde, then for Winchester, then for... I have some reason to fear, interrupted Nicholas, that before you leave here my career with you will have closed. Closed! Cried Mrs. Crummles, raising her hands in astonishment. Closed! Cried Miss Snevellicci, trembling so much in her tights that she actually laid her hand upon the shoulder of the manageress for support. Why, he don't mean to say he's going! Exclaimed Mrs. Gudgeon, making her way towards Mrs. Crummles. Hoity-toity nonsense! The phenomenon, being of an affectionate nature, and moreover excitable, raised a loud cry, and Mrs. Belvawney and Miss Bravassa actually shed tears. Even the male performers stopped in their conversation, and echoed the word going, although some among them, and they had been the loudest in their congratulations that day, winked at each other as though they would not be sorry to lose such a favoured rival, an opinion indeed which the honest Mr. Folair, who was already dressed for the savage, openly stated in so many words to a demon with whom he was sharing a pot of porter. Nicholas briefly said that he feared it would be so, although he could not yet speak with any degree of certainty, and getting away as soon as he could, went home to con Newman's letter once more, and speculate upon it afresh. How trifling all that had been occupying his time and thoughts for many weeks seemed to him during that sleepless night, and how constantly and incessantly present to his imagination was the one idea that Kate, in the midst of some great trouble and distress, might even then be looking, and vainly too, for him. Chapter 29.